See. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I had to turn on some light. Oh, and there goes my camera. Good Lord, I'm just a mess today. All right, good afternoon, all you success engineers. This is Mark Dudek, the Hardscape Hacker, coming at you. Um, don't mind if I look down. This is going to be a quick thing. I got my notes sitting on my lap, so I'll make sure I cover everything that I wanted to cover. The first thing I wanted to cover is how, when, and where to install hardscapes. How, when, and where. How, first of all, if you've got some DIYer in you, more power to you. Do your research first. Make sure that you get the right materials. Look at some options on paper before you actually put them in your yard. That way you don't have the guilt of, let's say, like you're painting a room. You know, you pick a color that looks amazing in the store and you get home and put it in your room. Not so much. So do the same due diligence with your hardscapes. If you're going to put in a border around a garden or a small retaining wall, certainly they sell retaining wall blocks and things at like Lowe's, Home Depot. You can get them just about anywhere. Landscaping supply houses, things like that. As far as when, you can install hardscapes any time of year. Depending on where you live, of course. Like I'm in North Carolina, we have different seasons. It's actually nice and sunny today, but it's been cold. We've had snow, things like that. So those are certainly obstacles in my field when I go to talk to potential clients as far as installing water features, ponds, and things like that. You know, it's hard to deal with concrete in the wintertime when it's 20, 30 degrees outside. But if you're going to do it at home, by yourself, if you got some DIYer in you, like I said, everybody that's chiming in, I appreciate, or everybody that's jumping in, I appreciate you. Glad y'all are here. If you would hit some hearts and likes and tag 3 people and share it out. I'm trying to get as much coverage for this as I can. This is a lot of information that I'm going to cover fairly quickly. So take notes because there's going to be some value. But like I said, hit the hearts, hit the likes, share it out, tag 3 people if you would. So back to the when. Depending on your region, you can install hardscapes any time of year. Depending on what you want to install, just do, like I said before, do your research. Make sure you plan it out. Get all your bases covered before you start, because you don't want, with something major like that, you don't want to regret it once it's done. I've been to numerous clients where they had their buddy, the handyman, come in. Hey Richard, my brother, how you doing? They had their handyman buddy come in and do let's say a paver walkway. I've come across tons of those, believe me, especially here in North Carolina. A lot of people like pavers for some ungodly reason. With all the rain we've been getting, I'm sure I'll get a lot of phone calls. Pavers, with all the rain, the ground's going to sink. The pavers are going to be uneven. You could possibly trip, break your ankle, and seriously injure yourself. So that's the main reason I don't agree with pavers. I never have, never will, even before I started doing hardscaping. Hey Carrie, how you doing, cuz? Love you. So pavers is a big issue, but if you're going to have your buddy, the handyman, do some work, for example, a paver walkway or something, make sure that you do your research. Make sure that they're doing their research, and make sure it's correct. If you don't think you can get to that point, then by all means call a professional in. You would much rather have it done right the first time than do it 2 or 3 more times. So that'll cover the how and the when. Where, again, you can install hardscapes anywhere. A lot of people do them in their backyards, maybe some minor ones in the front yard, maybe a border around the planter bed or the garden or something like that. And of course walkways as well. You definitely want to get the most bang for your buck. So you want to, again, do your research. With everything I'm going to cover, make sure you do your research. Look online, get reviews for companies, go to the sites like Home Advisor, Porch.com, things like that. Ones that they're going to research and vet the professionals, if you're going to call a professional. like I said, most people do them in their backyards, say big outdoor kitchen project, patio, pergola, things like that. If they have a pool, they're going to do a nice, huge water feature around the pool. Um, yeah, I agree with you, Chris. It's same here. If I had a nickel for every time I got a phone call to come and fix something that was installed, I'd be rich. But and I have done a few. I prefer not to, but I like to do all new installations, start from scratch. Um, but you're going to have your nice big water feature with your pool in the front, maybe something small, like I said, a border around a garden or a planter area, flower bed, something like that. And with my company, I do all of that. I've done several of each type of project that you can imagine. We do retaining walls. We do, of course, the water features. Our biggest seller is of course, the one I advertise all the time is the tree stump fire pit. I'm actually getting ready to meet up with Kurt Balish of Balish Woodworks this month, and we're going to look at a huge project over on his property. We're going to get him hooked up. He wants to incorporate some of his woodworking with our concrete, and I just think it'll mesh really well. It's going to look awesome, and of course, I'm sure we'll both document it and share pictures and probably some videos too. So that's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. So to review that part, how if you get, like I said, if you got some DIYer in you, somebody that's good with stuff like that, then by all means have at it. Just do your research. I beg of you, do your research. When, depending on your area, any time of year is fine. If you live like out on the West Coast where I'm originally from, any time of year, literally. If you get more towards the Midwest and the East Coast, you're going to have those changing seasons, so it's going to make it a little bit difficult. You're going to have things to contend with, like the snow, all the rain, like we've been getting here in North Carolina, things like that. So you got to plan accordingly. Of course, always plan ahead. Make sure that you set a budget. Let me say that again. Make sure you set a budget. Do your research, set your budget. All these things also are, and I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. All these things are covered in my ebook, and I'll give you all the link at the end of this. If anybody's having a hard time hearing me, I'm sorry. It's probably these earbuds that I've got. I got to get some new ones. I don't have a professional microphone. I don't have professional lighting, things like that yet. So I'm working up to it. I'll get there. But for now, it's just the earbuds. Believe me, the earbuds is a lot better mic than on the phone. If anybody else is having problems hearing me, let me know. I'll try to speak a little bit louder. I'll do what I can to accommodate. So the when, the how, when, and where. How, of course, you can do it on your own, but I advise calling a professional. When, any time of year, depending on where you live at, make sure you go in accordance with the seasons if you have those. All my friends back in California, of course, there is no season. It's summer year-round. And where, of course, a majority of hardscaping goes on in the backyard. If you have a huge front yard, you have a planter bed, flower beds, walkways, things like that. Of course, you can do those in the front yard as well. That's the good thing about hardscapes is you can put them just about anywhere. And believe me, I plan on doing a lot of work at our house here. And as I get into my projects here, I'm going to definitely document those with pictures, lives, things like that. So that'll cover those three. The next thing I want to talk about is the benefits of adding hardscapes. Of course, all these apply if you're a homeowner. If you're renting, not so much. But that gives you something to look forward to. It gives you a goal to get your own house. So benefits of adding hardscaping, of course, first and foremost is any kind of hardscaping you do is going to add value to the home. Let's say you just install a nice poured concrete stamped walkway in the front. Something as simple as that, it's going to give you probably a 20 to 30% return. If you do anything major, like if you do have a pool, you add a huge 3-4 boulder water feature with maybe a slide on the side of it, of course, that's going to yield up to 150 to 200% returns. Because especially if you use us or another company that does what we do, we have dealers throughout the United States. So wherever you live, I can find you somebody that does what I do. But something major like that, of course, is, like I said, is going to be about 150 to 200% returns. If you add say a fire pit with a couple of bench seats in the front or back, either or, that's going to be about 50 to 75% return. Retaining walls are again about 20 to 30% return. So anything that you add is going to add value to your home. So when you think of stuff like this, and when you talk to people, when you talk to professionals that are going to install it, keep that in mind, that you're investing in your house as well. You're not only going to give yourself a nice place, for example, if you do a fire pit and seating area, you're not only going to give yourself a nice place to sit and relax, make s'mores, just burn some wood and watch the fire, and relax with the cold one on a weekend. You're adding value to your home. Whether you do a walkway, you do a planter bed, anything like that, whatever you add is going to add value to your home. And the other good thing about it is, it's not only going to raise your property value, but your neighbors are going to start seeing it. They're going to want to add it to theirs, because it's all about keeping up with the Joneses. So they're going to see something that you have that they don't. You invite everybody over, have a big get together. They see all this stuff. They're going to want to add it to theirs. Raises their home values, which raises the overall market, which is good for everybody. So that's one of the benefits. The other benefits is it gives you pride in your outdoor entertaining space, whether it be a patio and outdoor kitchen. Of course, you're going to use a lot more than if you just have like a little cheap Home Depot grill. If you have a nice patio with a nice pergola, that we can wrap the posts and make them look like trees, basically, like trees are holding up your pergola. We can do that. Awesome stuff that we can do. That's going to add value. If you have of course, the water feature in the back, you can have a water feature with a pond. You don't necessarily have to have a pool. You can have a water feature with a pond, and that will give you a nice place to relax, whether you drink a cold one or not. It'll give you a nice place to relax. Go out after a hard day at work, relax, listen to the water. You get the ambiance. You can add lighting to it. You can add speakers to it, have music, all sorts of the options are limitless as far as what you can do with a water feature. We've done water features where you have a waterfall coming into a pond. You have a fire pit basically ingrained into it. So you've got the water and fire features both at the same time, which is amazing. You throw some lights in it, some color changing lights, so you can enjoy it at night. I mean, endless possibilities. So that gives you, somewhere where you can relax. You can entertain. You can sit by yourself if you want. It's just something that somewhere where you can go after a hard day at work. You run around with the screaming, yelling kids, somewhere just to get away. So that's another benefit. Another added benefit is curb appeal. Everybody loves curb appeal. Everybody wants their property to look better than their neighbors. Everybody wants to have that best property on the block look. But this will help you with that. You're going to have something that your neighbors don't have. Whether, like I said, whether you have a professional do it, whether you do it yourself with materials from Lowe's or Home Depot or any of the other home improvement stores, you're going to be able to add that curb appeal. And should you sell your house down the line, that's definitely one thing that's going to help is that little bit of curb appeal. So next subject is varying ways to improve your outdoor entertaining area. I went over it a little bit before. Improving your outdoor entertaining area. Most people think patio, outdoor kitchen. There's tons more than that, and I've covered a lot of it. You got your outdoor kitchens. You got a patio with just a pergola. You got your water feature with a pond. You got your dry creek water features. You got all kinds of stuff. You got your fire pit and your seating areas. There's a ton of things you can do to improve your outdoor entertaining area. If you're starting with just the cheap Home Depot grill, Of course, you can get the outdoor kitchen, get your patio slab poured first, get your outdoor kitchen put in, you get your pergola put in, you get some nice lighting, a little bit of music out there. I mean, it's amazing the dramatic changes that stuff will make. If you're still watching, as I said before, hit the hearts, hit the likes, tag 3 people, share it out. I'm going to take a drink of tea while you do that. And yes, I drink sweet tea. So that's another way to improve your area. So in review, you've got the how, when, and where. You got how you can do it yourself. You can have a friend do it if they're fairly good at stuff like that. The when, of course, any time of year, depending on where you live, you have to take that into consideration. Where, front yard, backyard, side yard, anywhere really that you want to. I'll give you a perfect example with what we can do with our outdoor kitchens. We do our own countertops, concrete countertops. We can do those out in an outdoor kitchen. We can do them inside the house in your kitchen. We're very versatile, so you can do things like that. The second thing I covered was the benefits of adding hardscapes. Excuse me, adding hardscapes and differing climates. Benefits of adding hardscapes is first and foremost curb appeal. Second, gives you a place to entertain, gives you a place to relax, somewhere that you can go off and be by yourself, be with friends if you want to, throw little entertaining parties, whatnot. And third and most important is raises your home value. So anything that you add is going to raise the value of your home, whether it be a 20% return, whether it be 150 to 200% return for a big water feature, either by itself or a water feature with a pool or anything like that. So that's going to be the benefits. The varying ways to improve your outdoor entertaining area. Get a patio slab if you don't already have one poured. Add an outdoor kitchen, add a pergola, add a fire pit, add a seating area, add a water feature standalone. You can add a water feature with a pond, add a water feature around your pool. Several ways to improve your outdoor entertaining area alone. And the last one that I'm going to cover is all this is covered in my ebook that I wrote. It's called a Guide to Hardscapes. It's a comprehensive guide, insider's guide. Mike, my brother, how you doing? It's an insider's guide with over 13 years in the construction industry myself. I've seen and done quite a bit. I give you tips as far as planning. I give you tips as far as getting a budget together, hiring contractors, how to deal with contractors, suggestions as far as what to add where, when to add it, how to add it, things like that. All of that is covered in my ebook. And if you order the ebook, then I've also got a free gift that I'm going to send you, so you do get something for free, other than my beautiful face. If you go to www.csd, that's Charlie Shane Delta, hardscapes.weebly, weebly.com, and I'll put the link on here in the comments when I'm done, and order that ebook. And of course, I'll send you the free gift with it as well. So I hope you all have a nice day. If you have any hardscape questions at all, throw them up real quick, and I'll try to answer them as best I can. Hit the hearts, hit the likes, share it out, tag 3 people. Y'all got any questions? I'm here to take advantage. If not, leave them in the comments then. If you think of any questions later on, leave them in the comments for this, and I'll certainly answer them. If not, private message me, and I'll certainly help you any way I can. So if there aren't any questions, again, the website for the book is www.csdhardscapes.weebly.com. Of course, you can contact me on my Facebook page, CSD Hardscapes Facebook page. You can contact me at my website, which is csdhardscapes.com. Find me on Instagram. Find me on LinkedIn. There's too many ways to contact me. So if you got any questions, you want to get a hold of me, I'm easy to find. Y'all have a nice day. Jesse, get your butt back to work. Y'all have a good one.